today we will start Pandas for data analysis and manipulation. First question is, what is Pandas? Pandas is a fast, powerful and open source Python library for data analysis and manipulation. So that means we are going to use the Python library for data manipulation. So what kind of data does Pandas handle? Pandas is primarily designed to handle tabular data, similar to data stored in Microsoft Excel spreadsheet or SQL database tables. Or we can say that Pandas organizes data into data frames internally. So now the question is, what is a data frame? A data frame is a two-dimensional data structure that can store data of different types, including characters, integers, floating point values, categorical data, and more in columns. It is similar to a spreadsheet, a SQL table, or the data frame in R. In Excel, we have a sheet. In SQL, we have a table. And in Pandas, we have a data frame. Data frame is just a fancy name of a table which contains data in the form of columns and rows. Each column in a data frame has a column label, and each row in a data frame also has a row label, which is called index. By default, this is a sequence of integers starting at 0. Another thing we have to learn is a series. So each column in a data frame is called a series. Also, each row consists of a series. So mostly in industries, we use the Jupyter notebook to work with Pandas. Here I'm using the VS Code with the Jupyter extension to work with data using Pandas library. So first let us open the VS Code. I'm going to open the VS Code with command prompt. Here I don't have any file, so I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to save it as pandas.ipynb, which is the extension of a Jupyter notebook file. So I'm going to create a cell. In a Jupyter notebook, we write code in cells and we can run each cell on its own. So first I'm going to import the Pandas library. Import Pandas as pd. First I'm going to import the Pandas library. So let us run this cell with control and enter. How to get the data in Pandas? Pandas supports many different file formats or data sources out of the box, like CSV, Excel, SQL, JSON, etc. Each of them with their prefix read underscore asterisk. Asterisk here means file type. So to get the data, I can use the read underscore CSV to get the data in Pandas. So here I have a Pandas data set in CSV format. Titanic. I'm going to create the variable Titanic as a data frame pd, means pandas dot read. Is Pandas going to read my file? Here I used the link directly from Titanic dataset on the GitHub, which is in CSV format. So I directly used the link to get the data. Also, I can get the data directly from my computer if it is on my computer. Right now, let us see what I have got in my data. So here is my Titanic data frame. That means you can read data with Pandas from any file, which can be a CSV, Excel, JSON, or SQL file. And now the question is, if I want to save the data from Pandas data frame to any format, like we use read underscore csv. We can use to underscore csv, titanic.csv. We use read to get the data in pandas and to save the data into the file. If I run this, you can see here I have got the Titanic data as a CSV file. If I open this, here is the data. So now we have got the data in our data frame. Once we load the data, we want to explore it to see what we have got. Pandas provides many methods for data exploration. For example, df.head. Here it is titanic.head. By default, it gives us the first 5 rows from our data frame. We can feed the number to get the number of rows that we want. Like if we want 10 rows, we can get first 10 rows from the data. Another method, which is tail, by which we can get the last 5 rows of our data frame. If we want to know the type of data, we can use titanic.dtypes to get the data type of all our columns, or we can use the type function to know the data type, which is pandas data frame. So our Titanic is a data frame, and each column has its own data type, like passenger ID is int, survivor is int, and name is object, and so on. If we want to know the technical summary of our data frame, we can use titanic.info to get the technical summary of our data frame. Like here, indeed it says it is a data frame. There are 891 total rows or entries. Each row has a row label, which is called index, with values are ranging from 0 to 890. The table has 12 columns ranging from 0 to 11. All columns have 891 rows, and if the count is below 891, that means there are some missing values. Here it is telling us the data type, which is passenger ID, which is int, survivor int, class int, name, it is an object, and so on. We can use another method, which is titanic.describe, which is df.describe. Here with describe, we have got count, total number of rows, the mean, standard deviation, minimum 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile, and max. Then there's another method of which we can use, that is called shape. Titanic.shape, which gives us the total number of rows and columns in our data frame. So in summary, today we have covered what is pandas, how to load data into pandas with a read underscore file type, and how to export data with to underscore file type. Then we have covered the methods, head, tail, info, describe, shape, data types, type, etc. This is all about our first chapter, which was data frame, load and explore.